Okay, so there's a huge change happening right now at petrol pumps all across India. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what it means for the car you're driving every single day.
So have you seen this yet? Maybe you've noticed a new sticker on the fuel dispenser that says E20. It seems like a small thing, but that little label represents a massive, massive shift in the fuel that's going into our tanks. So what on earth does E20 actually mean?
Yeah, that's right, 20%. By 2025, the goal is for the petrol you fill up with to be blended with 20% ethanol. That is a massive jump, and it's happening really, really fast. So today, we're breaking down what this means, why it's happening, and the one crucial question you've got to ask yourself. Is your car at risk? All right, so first things first. What exactly is this new E20 fuel mix?
E20 is actually pretty simple. It's just petrol that's been mixed or blended with up to 20% ethanol. And ethanol isn't some weird chemical. It's a biofuel, which is a type of alcohol that's made from agricultural stuff like sugarcane and maize. Basically, you can think of it as a kind of plant-based fuel.
And what's really wild is just how fast this is all happening. I mean, think about it. It was just back in 2022 that India successfully rolled out 10% ethanol blended petrol pretty much everywhere. Now the goal is to literally double that to 20% by 2025. That is an incredibly ambitious timeline. So you gotta wonder, right? Why the big rush for more ethanol? Let's take a look at the national goals that are driving this switch. Well, it really boils down to three big reasons. First, we want to cut down on how much expensive oil we have to import from other countries. Second, there are the green benefits. Ethanol actually burns cleaner than pure petrol, which helps cut down on harmful emissions. And third, it's a big help to our farmers, especially the sugarcane farmers who grow the crops that become the biofuel. Okay, those all sound like great goals, right? But, and this is a big but, there's a catch, a kind of hidden danger that millions of car owners really need to know about. This is where we get to the heart of the matter, the risk to your car. So let me just ask you straight up, is your car E20 compliant? Do you have any idea? Because trust me, finding out the answer to that question is way more important than you might think. And here's the hard truth. The reality is, most cars and bikes made in India before 2018, they just weren't designed for fuel with this much ethanol. Their engines, their fuel lines, their seals, their entire system was built for regular petrol or maybe at most a 10% blend. So, you're probably asking, why is that such a big deal? Well, it's because petrol and ethanol are like chemical opposites in some really important ways. For one, ethanol is hygroscopic. I know, it's a fancy word, but all it means is that ethanol literally sucks water right out of the air. It also has less energy packed into it, and it can act like a solvent, which is the exact opposite of a lubricant. And all those differences, well, they can cause a whole cascade of problems in an engine that isn't ready for it. That water it absorbs, that can cause rust and corrosion in your fuel tank. Its solvent-like nature can literally start to eat away at rubber and plastic seals. You do not want that. It can even loosen up all the old gunk in your tank, which then clogs up your fuel filter. This can all lead to worse mileage, trouble starting your car, and yep, everyone's favorite, that dreaded check engine light. I know that all sounds pretty scary. But hold on, don't panic. There's a really simple, straightforward way to figure this out and protect your car. Here's your 3-step action plan. Okay, here's what you need to do. 3 simple steps. Step 1, and honestly, this is the most crucial thing you can do. Check your car's owner's manual. Seriously, dig it out of the glove box. In there, it will tell you exactly what the maximum ethanol blend your car can handle is. Step 2, once you know that, it's easy. Just choose the right fuel at the pump. If your car is only rated for E10, you have to stick to E10. And step 3, look, don't even think about trying to retrofit an old car. It's almost always way too expensive and complicated to be worth it. Okay, so we've got millions of older cars out there that might have a problem with this new fuel. What does this mean for the future of fuel in India? Where are we headed? Well, the long-term answer is already hitting the showrooms. Flex Fuel Vehicles, or FFVs. These are cars that are built from the get-go with special materials and tuned engines that can handle pretty much any ethanol blend you throw at them, all the way up to 85%. Plus, the good news is that most new cars rolling off the line today are already E20 compliant right out of the factory. But here's the thing. For the next few years, while we're in this messy transition phase, 2 things are going to be absolutely critical. Public awareness, that means you knowing what your car needs, and super clear labeling at the petrol pumps. We all have to be sure about what we're putting in our tanks. Otherwise, we're looking at a lot of accidental and very expensive engine damage. And that kind of brings us to the big final question here. The new cars might be ready for E20. Heck, maybe your car is too. But successfully getting the entire country through this massive shift in fuel without leaving millions of people with older cars stranded? Now that is the real test, isn't it?